What if Ruby was raised by the Grimm, the Black Rose series finale? Hopefully you'll enjoy. If you like the series, make sure to like and subscribe for more. We start this off from where we left off on the special, on a train. As Darren is going through, as Ruby's unconscious, John is unconscious. As Darren goes over to Adam. So, I guess we should start talking, shouldn't we? What is it you want? You left the White Fang a long time ago. I left the White Fang because I didn't agree with what you were doing. Things need to change. Faunuses need to be on top. That is not the way, and you know it. So why do you keep me alive? Because I need your help. We're planning to help Ruby essentially take down Salem and all the hunters. I don't see why you need to do that. Salem I can understand. But what about the hunters? She has a bit of a grudge towards them ever since she was little. Essentially. But I'm not sure if that grudge is still there or not over the past few months. Very confusing. Is it because we kept that, kid alive? John? Is that his name? I don't see why you just kill the two. I'm not going to kill them. They're my friends. I still don't see the point in this. As Darren would grab his sword and then cut Adam's ties. You're letting me go. You know this may end up being a bad decision. I'm not letting you go. You're simply coming with us to Atlas. Really? You think it's a good idea? I could simply stab you in the back. Yes, I'm very aware of that, but I need your help. Do it, and you'll never see me, or, well, at least her again. As he looks around, he also sees the Grimm in the car. Very well. But if we ever cross paths again after whatever you need me to do, I will kill you on the spot. I can agree to those terms. Good. As Adam then just goes, I'm heading to the conductor. As then Darren would grab his shoulder, you're not killing the conductor. Like I can, you still have my weapon, remember? Fine, but do not kill him, Adam. Whatever. As Adam would leave the room. As Darren would sit down. Really, Adam. We knew each other for such a long time. As then we get a flashback of Adam and Darren fighting back to back, fighting robots on an old mine run by Weiss' family. As they would be cutting down robots. Hey, watch your back, Adam. As Darren would jump down from above and slash, cutting a robot in half. Thanks, thank you for having my back. No problem. As he would throw a sword at another robot before jumping, grabbing it, and swinging around, chaining another robot, pulling it towards him to where Adam would cut it to pieces. As then they would reach a lower area where Faunuses were in a cage. As Adam would break the lock, setting them free. I hate these places. We're just here to get them out of here, Adam, but our main objective is still not complete. Listen, we've mainly freed every Faunus here. No, they need to pay. As Adam unsheathed his sword a little, as Darren would grab. Our job is done, Adam. Let's go. After all, more security will be here soon. Very well. As Darren would rush off to make sure the Faunuses would get to a safe area. As Adam would see a room. After walking in it, we see nothing. As we go to Darren, who's leading the faunuses they rescued out of the building. Everyone, this way, come on. As about all the faunuses got out, but he doesn't see Adam. Where'd Adam go? As he would rush in, as then he noticed the open door. As he'd walk in, he noticed that all the scientists and guards that they had trapped in the room Adam had slaughtered. Adam, what are you doing? Simply getting rid of them. You see how they treat our people. They don't deserve to live. You're just proving their point, Adam. No, I'm showing that we should be feared. That they should not try this stuff. That faunuses should be on top. This is not what we were supposed to do. We were simply just supposed to free the others. They got what they deserved. As Adam would leave the room. I guess that's it. As he would write something and then put it in his pocket. I'm done with this. As then Darren would open his eyes. That was so long ago. Hopefully he keeps his word. After all, he's changed since I knew him. As then he would notice Ruby moving is in a sweat. As he would go over and, well, he would touch her arm as he feels like the fur of a Grimm. As he would quickly look at her hand, which is covered with a fully been converted to a Grimm. What? As then he would check her other arm, which is basically already fully converted. As then she would inspect a little bit more, as noticing pretty much her entire body has been taken over by Grimm cells, leaving pretty much her face the only thing not covered. Why were you hiding this from me? As then one of her hands would grab Darren by the collar and then just toss him to the side of the car, denting the car. As he would look over and notice that she's still out. What was that? As then Adam would come in. What was that? I heard a big noise. As then he would see that there's a huge dent in the wall. Did you just get tossed around? None of your business. Might help me up, though. As Adam would lean out a hand as he pulls him up. As he's about to look over towards Ruby, Darren quickly distracts him. Hey, Adam, what did the conductor have to say? He said we'd be there in about an hour. Or less. Maybe more. I didn't really pay attention too much. Oh, I just wanted the specifics. Anyway, what about John? Who? The yellow-haired guy Hunter we dragged along? Oh yeah, he's still kicking. Eclipse has been keeping an eye on him. Thank you. As they would leave to go to the main car, as we go to see Ruby's perspective, as Ruby wakes up in like a void. Where am I? What is this place? As she would look around, but she then would see, well, her sister, the White Grimm, and then the Frost Grimm. Frost? White? As she would lead her hand out towards them, touching them one last time before they fade away. No, don't go! As she would try to, touch them once more as they fade away. As a dark figure would appear, They're already gone. As she would turn around, but sees no one. Who said that? Why, I did, as she would turn around again after hearing the voice. As then a bright light shines in her face, in the void. You'll know who we are very soon. But for now, it's not the time, as two hands will appear in front of Ruby, as she seemingly is sent back. As she wakes up, what was that? What was that place? As then Darren went into the room. Seems you're awake. Yeah, I suppose so. Well, I told Adam to check on John. The guy, you've been tagging along for a while now. Yeah, I'm aware. As her hands are shaking. I'm surprised you haven't noticed yet. As she looks up at Darren, what do you mean? Take a look at your arms. As she looks at her arms, before she covers them. Sorry, I didn't mean for you to find out. You're turning into a Grimm, aren't you? I think I am. I'm not 100% sure about it. As Darren would sit down. Listen, we can't let Adam know. Why do you insist to keep him alive? I need him, and I need him alive. And I can't put myself to kill him. So please, just work with me here. He's gonna help us in Atlas. Because we have to deal with the Hunters and Salem. Cinder, and whoever else Salem has left. I suppose you're right. But I don't like... I know you don't like him. You just gotta deal with him and tell them. I saw something different in my little visions this time. What did you see? It was as then the horn of the train would go off. Oh, it seems we're nearly at our destination. I'll tell you later. Alright. As we get to another car where, well, John's awake. Why does my head hurt so badly? I don't know, because I watched you get, slugged by him. As he points towards the, Eclipse, who just simply is looking at them. That is a weird looking Grimm. I have to say, it's the weirdest one I've seen. As then he knows the train's starting to slow down. It seems we're getting close to our destination. Destination? Yeah, take a look. As both Adam and John look out the window, seeing the flying city of Atlas. Wow, it's beautiful. Yeah, technology and all that. Gonna be getting aboard is gonna be a problem. The security is pretty high tight right now. Because what happened at Beacon and Haven? Yeah, I suppose so. You can get in just fine. It's gonna be the rest of us that's gonna be the problem. But anyway, let's go see what our friend needs. As John basically follow Adam as they enter the next car. As then Darren would then just elbow John in the, face, knocking him out. I was a bit confused. I thought you were going to say he was going to help us. No, his journey ends here, unfortunately. You want me to... As he moves his hand, no, do not kill him. We just need him to get to this far. Alright, fine. As Ruby is more covered up with gloves and all that, hiding all of her, mutated Grimm parts, which being hands, legs, exposed skin, The only thing that really hasn't been the grim cells haven't really affected is towards her head. As they look out, so how many Grimwolves do you have? A bunch, but they're staying hidden. They can't be anywhere near Atlas. The city will notice and they'll send security. You would be right on that. As we're gonna need a plane. Well, it's currently connected to a little bit of airports and also a city down here. We'll find a way of transportation to get us to Atlas. Yeah, I'm counting on it. As they all get off the train, as Adam glares at the conductor, like saying, "Don't dare speak this to anyone." As they would go and wander the city. So where to? Well, first off, we need to make our way up to the city up there. Which means we're going to have to steal either some IDs, get on a plane, or do whatever. We just need to get up to Atlas. Don't worry, Ruby mentions. I have a plan for that. Okay, now I'm interested. What do you got? You see those planes over there? What, run by Atlas Security? We simply just hijack one. This is where I gotta go wrong. Gotta say no, Ruby. This is a bad idea. They'll notice when their planes are gonna be missing, out of order, and all that, and they're gonna shoot you down. That's pretty much what they're gonna do. Not if they don't know. And how would you, as she points towards a direction, as Eclipse had just gotten into the ship where several, people had just entered. I guess that's how we're getting up to Atlas, then. As they all walk towards the plane. As Eclipse is just sitting in there with the unconscious guards. Before tossing them out of the back of the plane. As Adam would sit down in the back. So who knows how to fly this thing? As they all look at each other. I guess I'll do it. As Darren goes up to the front. I'll pilot us to get up there. Very well. I guess I'll sit here and watch Adam, right? That's my name. As they both sit down. So, when did you meet Darren? Just curious. I met him a few years ago. This might have been before he joined the White Fang. I can't tell for certain, but he might have met her before then. How did you manage to tame so many Grimwolves? That is none of your concern. Figured she wasn't answer that. What's the reason you're going after hunters? They just harm my family, that's all. Not getting really any good answers out of her. Anyway, can we speed this up? Can we get off the ground, please, Darren? Give me a few minutes. It's a little bit harder. This is one of the newer models. I haven't flown a plane in months. Just hurry it up. As Em looks over. Why are your eyes different than anyone else I've come across? That's none of your concern. I think it is, because it's unpeculiar to have silver eyes. As then Eclipse would walk towards, Adam and Ruby. I get it. I better stay quiet. After all, he still doesn't have his sword, as Darren still has it. If I had my sword, I would be able to cut those two down, most guarantee it. But with Darren still having my weapon, the likely chance I would win in a fight is very low. I guess I just gotta wait. as the plane would then start taking off. Alright, I got operational. Heading towards Atlas. As it starts to fly up. Yeah, sorry if there's some as the plane would move. Hey, what's that? Sorry, a bit of turbulence. I haven't flown one of these things in months, as I've said, Adam. Just make it quick. I want to get there as soon as possible. Just wait. What did you tell me? Just wait. We'll get there in time. We'll take it down, defeat Salem, and destroy the city of Atlas. As she looks towards Adam with a glare, saying, speaking the entire truth. She's not lying. She really intends to destroy Atlas. He smiles. Very well. Might as well be part of this little game of y'all's. So what's my goal? I did some research on one of Salem's partners a while back, while we were in, Beacon. The name was Neo, if I got her name right. Worked with Roman Torchwick, an ally to Salem. Her semblance is within disguise and illusions. We'll need to take her out. Is that me or y'all? I'll have Eclipse here take care of her. But we have to consider the security of Atlas, and if any other hunters from Beacon may show up. You're right. There are so many factors to consider. But it seems for some reason you two have a plan to take down Atlas. Yes, we have a plan. Mine informing the newcomer myself. What that plan might be, that is none of your concern. Very well. But remember, once I've helped you, I'm free. We never meet again. That is the deal Darren made with you, and I will abide by it, even though I'd prefer to kill you here and now after what you did to Frost. Freeze. I couldn't care less. It was just a Grim. As she would glare at Adam. As then we would go, to Team Ruby, which is basically Blake, Yang, and Wise. And with Nora, Crow, Oscar, Ren. As they would finally get to the station near Atlas on the ground. Man, we had to walk all the way here. As Crow would come over. Yeah, but you have to admit, who thought a Grim could sneak on a train? What do you mean, Crow? You didn't know that the person knocking everyone out was a Grim? As all of them look over at Crow. It was kind of obvious, as he drinks his, alcohol. As then they notice, hey, there's the train we came across. As Blake would run towards it, thinking Adam might still be on board with the rest of the gang, as they had burst through, as they would see an unconscious John snoring. As then, so who's gonna wake him up? Ooh, me! Nora would raise her hand before just basically running towards John and just tossing him to a wall. As he hits the wall, ow! Was that really necessary? As he wakes up, wait. Nora, Ren, Yang, Blake, Ice Princess? Did I get all that right? Or am I seeing just a illusion again? As Weiss would get down just before smacking him in the face. Oh, no. Not an illusion, not a dream. Where are the ones that were with you? What do you mean? as Blake would get down on one knee. Where's Adam? You must mean Adam? He went with, Black Rose and Darren? The two other people you met on the train? Wait, really? But why were they with Adam? They're actually not licensed hunters, as all of them look over. What do you mean? Darren was part of the White Fang for a time, apparently. But I never heard or saw him when I was in the White Fang. Apparently he was a partner of Adam for a while. I see. Maybe it was before me and Adam met. That might have been when they met. They must have met before I joined, or they met while they were on different missions. Do you know where they went? No, they kind of knocked me out before they were going to tell me anything. As Oscar would come over. Well, at least your wounds are minor. Talk about being a chew toy for Grimwolves. As then Crow would get serious. Grimwolves? Yeah, the one in the black cloak, really? Black reddish cloak? Has the ability to control some Grim. As this would surprise the group. Wait, really? Yeah, in fact, if I remember, she controlled the Grim that kidnapped me at Beacon. As they would look at each other. Where are they now? Again, I don't know. They could be in Atlas somewhere. How many Grim does she have control over? I don't know. There was a lot of them. And then there was this huge big one. Could it basically topple a city on its own? As then Yang would ask, Big? How big? You know those mammoth Grim we saw? Yeah? About them, their height or bigger. Oh wow, it's massive then. Yes. We're definitely gonna have to think of a way to defeat it, but for now, we need to find them. Do you have a clue where they might have gone? Well, Adam did talk to me when he woke me up, I suppose. He said to look at Atlas. I assume they were going to Atlas. That's all I know, though. As Ren would give out his hand, come on. As he would pick, well, John up as he stands. You know my head is still spinning. Maybe I should lie back down. As then Yang would crack her fist. Do you want another clear punching to the face? You know what? Never mind. Let's get to Atlas. That's what I thought. We would go back to Ruby, Darren, and Adam as they would land on like a runway. As several like security or like people would be around. Alright, Eclipse. You're gonna have to be very stealthy and not get detected. As she's talking to Eclipse, as Adam's just watching. So, just find another way around. Do not get caught. Inform the others when we attack, alright? As Eclipse would nod. Good. Stay safe. As the hatch would open, as they walk down, Adam, Darren, and Ruby. So who are we looking for? Supposedly, I don't know. But the best way to defeat Salem is we're going to need at least the Winter Maiden's powers. Also, Eclipse should be on it, taking out Nora. No, not Nora. Neo. I have only heard of her a few times, so if I get her name wrong, I'm sorry. It's fine, Darren. After all, I don't know her. Yeah. Well, anyway. What do I gotta do? You can go mess up anything. Just cause a power outage, whatever. Really? That's all I have to do? No. When the fight really gets underway, I'm going to need your help. We also may have to go to the prison. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Let's go. As Ruby then starts to variate from them, as Darren sees, Ruby, where are you going? I need to go down. I'll catch up with y'all later. Alright. Come on, Adam. We need to continue with the plan. If we're gonna do this right, we're gonna have to sabotage a few things. On it. As Ruby would, well, leave from their direction and would go down the streets as she's looking at all of these shops in Atlas. So many shops, so many buildings. But I need to find something. As she would make her way down the road, is then a interesting shop would catch her eye. As it's an old bookshop. As she would walk towards it, before pushing it open just a little. As the bell would ring, "Hello, can I help you?" an elderly woman says. As Ruby would enter, "No, I've just came in here looking for something." "Well, take your time, dear. I don't get many guests." "Thank you." As she would walk around, looking at the books left and right. So many interesting books. As she grabs one called Supposedly How the Grimm Were Made. As she grabs it before opening it. Now, most of the population does not know of Salem and all that. The regular people. But for some reason, this book speaks of Salem. And a story. It says that, and it's only like one copy. So it says Salem can control pretty much all the Grimm. And that magic existed in everyone before becoming dust. Interesting. I guess looking this stuff up isn't such a bad idea. As then, like, vehicles outside, like, plane going overhead with lights. What was that? Oh, that's just the patrols. With the more frequent Grimm attacks, there's been more surveillance, more security lately, dear. Oh. I guess you're right. As Ruby's team would be, like, John and all the rest would make their way up to Atlas. And this is where we're going to do a bit of a time skip to where Nora would steal, well, the lamp, I suppose. The one with the genie, the thing. Can never remember what it's called, but it steals that. As she's pretty much scot-free from stealing it before getting hit by a paw, dragging her into a janitor's closet before taking it and knocking her out. As Eclipse would be holding it by, well, the top before sneaking away. Now, the conflict with the inciting Grimm invading Atlas would continue, as Adam and Darren are currently in the stabilizing rooms down below. So we're really unstabilizing this place. Yes, it's part of our job. As they be saying devices. How many devices do you have? I brought a couple, just set them. They'll have this at least slowly descend towards the ground. That way, her Grimwolves can commence and enter the city. Whatever you say. As they start hooking up the devices. As then suddenly there would be attack on the city. What's that? It seems Salem's making her move. Are we too late? Calm down. We got time. After all, they won't attack us. For the most part. Let's finish setting up the devices. Yeah. as they start putting the devices on the walls, or well, on the devices keeping the safe pretty much afloat. As Ruby would be wandering the streets, as a couple of Grimm would be roaming it, as she would just simply slaughter them. As Adam is roaming around, as they had separated from Darren, all gone on their separate paths, as Darren would be moving, looking for Ruby, as Adam is just walking around, as when he comes past two people, and in front of the Weiss estate. Well, well, if it isn't Blake and her friend. The name's Yang. Ah, yes, I remember taking your arm. As Adam has his sword back. Adam, as Blake's ready to fight. Well, it's good to see you again, Blake. Why are you doing this? Simply, they need to learn. I've been given a chance to take down Atlas, and I'm taking the opportunity to making the White Fang useful. The White Fang is now done with the violence and all that. What? I guess you haven't heard since you disappeared. But the White Fang is done. The White Fang will be back, and stronger than ever. I'll make sure of that. No, they won't. As then basically, Yang Blake would inevitably attack Adam. As Yang would send out her knife towards Adam, as he would block it, as Yang goes to throw dust punches of fire, like fireballs essentially, from her gauntlets, as Adam would be blocking it and fighting, as several Grimm would be swarming the area, as security is doing their best to keep it at bay. As they're fighting left and right, as Adam sends a slash towards Blake, as Zane comes over and hits his sword, as he simply just rolls on the ground to lower the momentum of the hit. As he moves his sword to send a slash towards Yang, as she dodges it, as it cuts a Grimm behind her in half. As they would continue fighting off left and right, as Yang then sends a huge blast towards Adam, as he uses his blade to absorb and send the slash back that way, sending a bit of a cut, also destroying a little bit of the Weiss mansion. As Adam would go over there with a sword slashing left and right. I'll take both of you out here and now. Don't care anymore. As he then lifts up his sword, as then both Yang and Blake would then just hit Adam towards an area. Why you? As then suddenly a Grimm would grab Adam. What's going on? As the Grimm would take him towards the edge, as Adam would manage to cut the Grimm down. As he lands at the edge, as Blake and Yang came over. This is enough. Surrender, Adam. Not gonna happen. As he runs towards Blake and Yang, as both of them do a combined attack to send Adam over the edge. This is not the last you'll hear of me. As he would then just seemingly fall to his demise. As we go to Ruby, who is seemingly just cutting down Grimlev, flying and coming towards her, as she would be making her way towards the Winter Maiden. I need to get to the Winter Maiden. As the devices then with that Darren and Adam had set started to activate, lowering Atlas towards the ground. As Ruby reaches the medical area, comes across a familiar sight, as Cinder is in the area, as she would send her scythe towards Cinder, as she would notice it and block it. I remember you, as she rushes over there with her fire powers and try to, burn Ruby, as she would use her scythe to block it before shooting, and they would get in a constant fight back and forth. As they would get in a bit of a fight tussle, essentially. As Darren shows up, as Ruby is having a little bit of struggle dealing with Cinder, as he would jump in to give her backup, as then they would both be fighting Cinder, who's a bit outclassed here, since both of them have been fighting and trained since a young age, and she relies heavily on her magic. But again, same as canon, where the Winter Maiden does die and Penny gets the powers. As they would continue on after retreating. So, who is the powers of the Winter Maiden now? Well, Cinder got away. And I think Penny, a cyborg girl, is the one with the Winter Maiden's powers currently. Okay, noted. But as then she would suddenly fall out as she falls to the ground. As Darren goes over to her, as the Grimm cells start to continue to go over towards her face, going up her face a bit slowly. No. Ruby, stay with me. As Darren would pick Ruby up. It's not safe for you here. I need to get you out of here. As he would run towards, most likely an exit, as several Grimm would jump out towards them, as he would quickly set Ruby down and take both of the Grimm out, before picking Ruby back up. It's not safe here with the Grimm roaming around. As we now go towards the ground, to where we see a unconscious Adam who had landed on, well, Ruby's mother's back. Oh, what happened? As he opens his eyes and is a little bit startled to see Eclipse in front of him. Whoa! Oh, it's you. As they notice that Atlas is really close to the ground now. Well, I guess the Grimm Wolves are able to. As then he would see a huge armada of Grimm coming towards Atlas. Well, I guess that's Salem, already on her way. I really don't know how you're gonna get out of this one, old friend. You and that other person, at least. Good luck. I'm out of here. As he would just jump off, well, Ruby's mom's back before disappearing into the forest. As we go back to, well, Ruby, as she's now back into that void place. I'm back here. As she would turn around and see the two people, someone covered in complete darkness, someone covered in light. It seems like you've noticed us now. Who are you? Well, I am the god of darkness, and this is the god of light. We are technically the creators of your world. Yes, I'm the one that created all the Grimm. And I'm the one that essentially gave y'all magic. Then why are you here? You'll be knocked out for quite some time, unfortunately. But we'll be using your body for the time being. What do you mean? This little argument between Salem and Ozpin have been overly enough. So we've decided to end it. And what? Get rid of the problem by force. Or just essentially get rid of the problem that has caused the balance to go uneven. It's gone more into chaos than balance right now, and it needs to be fixed. So you're just gonna fix everything? Yes. Why don't you, as the god of light, just puts her asleep? There. As we go to a street where Darren is protecting the unconscious Ruby, as the the grim cells has pretty much gone over almost her complete face, as Darren is currently fighting left and right, making sure none of the Grim get towards Ruby. As one nearly gets to, well, basically gets close to her head, Darren quickly throws his sword, killing the Grim. Before a boar Grim would come towards him, he would grab its tusks, lift it, and turn it upside down before tossing it at another Grim. I've almost exerted all my strength. This isn't good. As then he gets hit by something as he hits the wall. As his head's bleeding a bit. Well, I guess this is the end for me. As then a huge light would appear. As Ruby would turn into this. As they would raise one hand as the Grim would seemingly evaporate. Thank you for protecting this body. We will take it from here. As he looks over, Ruby. Sorry, but Ruby isn't home. But the gods are. We'll simply clear up this little unbalance. We are tired of watching this world go off balance, so I shall clear it up by getting rid of the main sources of the people that have caused this world to go unbalanced. Salem and Ozpin. As then Ruby would seemingly disappear before appearing in front of, well, Salem's forces. As, who are you? Ah, you've already forgotten about us. No, you two. You're the ones that, as she would order the Grim to attack, as the gods would just raise up Ruby's hand, as the Grim would just simply disappear. You've had enough. I've decided to end you once and for all. You've caused this world too much problems. So I've decided that the time has come. As it would close its fist before sending seemingly a blast towards Salem's force, obliterating all of them. As Oscar, Ozpin, and the rest see this, as for you, Ozpin, we'll allow you to move on. As an opportunity for Ozpin to go to the afterlife appears for him. Now that that's resolved, most of your problems are now finished. Whatever problems you may have left, you may deal with on your own. After all, the time of controlling this body is very short. Isn't that right, brother? Yes. As we go back into the void area where Ruby wakes up again. Ah, you're awake again. So how long are you going to be in my body? Not long, just a few more minutes. You being taken over by the Grim cells and your Silver Eye DNA gave us the perfect opportunity to take control and fix the problems we had left behind. We did not realize that leaving those two to survive for this long would cause such an unbalance. We simply just needed to fix it. Very well. As the gods would take Ruby towards, well, Darren. We are now done. You may have her back. As Ruby would transform back, as she falls over, as Darren catches her. Don't worry, we're getting out of here. As Darren would carry her to the edge of Atlas before jumping, as they both landed on Ruby's mother's back. Come on, well, Ruby's mother, let's get out of here. As all the Grimwolves seem to flee from Atlas, seemingly ending everything. As they ride off in towards, well, well, sunrise. And that is the end of What If Ruby Was Raised by the Grimm, the Black Rose series. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed, and remember to like and subscribe for more.